Give me an early evaluation of practice, your receivers.
We're getting better. I think the effort is there, the want to is there, the ability to learn the scheme is there, because we have minimized errors. We've done a pretty good job of understanding how to get lined up, where we're getting lined up, the depths of routes and things like that, who to block on our run schemes. The biggest thing is this consistency. If we can be more consistent, I think that we're going to continue to get better, as we get through spring ball. But ultimately, I think, I talked to the guys this morning. I'm like, hey, fellas, I think we're doing pretty good in terms of knowing our assignments. Now it's just playing a lot faster. And that's going to come with being comfortable with what we do offensively. And then the biggest challenge, too, is to get guys comfortable with knowing that, hey, we're going to maximize the roster. We need guys to be playing special teams and guys that want to get on punt team, want to get on kickoff coverage, because in the receiver room we have depth, and because of that depth we have a lot of athletes who need to be utilized on special teams. And so I think we're doing pretty well to this point, and obviously we got to get better fundamentally and technique-wise.
Speaking of that depth, how long did it take you to realize, hey, I got some tools with which to work here in Kansas State?
Not long. I mean, you go out to winter conditioning and you see guys running around and you see the depths of the line. There's plenty of talent there. So the talent pool there in that room is very high. And so I think because of that, you got a lot of tools to work with. And I think because of those tools, those guys got to understand that they got to continue to utilize themselves in different ways. I always tell them, we know you're here to play receiver, and ultimately when everybody hears receiver, they talk about pass catchers. We're catching footballs, we're running routes. Well, in order to be a complete player, they got to understand the nuances of our run game. They got to understand that also whenever we want you on a special teams, that you got to be ready to roll on a special team. So that just makes them a better player, one for themselves individually, but then it's going to make us a better team also.
As a receivers coach, is it the hardest thing to get a receiver to buy into the downfield blocking idea?
It can be. I would say, yeah. Just with the natural order of that position group, guys want the football. They want to tote the rock. They want to catch the ball as a skill player, as an offensive skill player. But I think whenever you could pull clips and you see a guy springing a touchdown for 80 and the entire four receivers are running down the field with that running back or with that quarterback or whoever it is, that's something cool. It's unique, and I think when guys see that and they take pride in it, and really it's taking pride in your teammate. It's taking pride in your teammate. It's taking pride in the fact that it is a team sport, and then if we're running the football well, guess what? We're going to probably be able to throw the ball well. And so when guys understand the complete idea of football and how both run and pass coincide with each other and how you can have success as a team, and then ultimately there's one column that matters and it's the win column versus the loss column, that's when guys are like, okay, I'm playing for my brother, I'm playing for a teammate, and that's all that matters. And ultimately you'll have success as the team has success.
Okay, give me some guys that have kind of jumped off the page to you in these early practices.
Guys bring up Hunter's name. Hunter's jumped off, just athletically, skill set, shown from a leadership standpoint, the ability to run and stretch the field a little bit, and he's a physical presence. He even is wanting to get better in terms of his blocking and his hand placement and fundamentals that way. I think Joaquin Gill's done some good things. Ultimately, I think Malik is a very good athlete. Just got to polish him up a little bit. He's a young player, so there's time for him, but there's not time for him because you want to get going now. You want to start making strides right now, and he's in that kind of category of has played. He was able to, maintain that red shirt, but he should feel pretty comfortable being able to get out there and run with guys and compete. So, those are just a few names. But I think ultimately, Landry Weber's a kid that he does some really good things. And so, like I said, that whole unit has a lot of talent. And I think that as we get those guys comfortable with the system, their talents are able to kind of show up a little bit more because now they're just playing fast and they're not thinking about what their assignment is.
As a coach, is Isaiah Zuber the toy you can't play with yet? You're anxious to get to it?
Yeah, a little bit. And I mean, you pull on the tape from last year, he's made plays. He's made plays in the return game. He's made plays, obviously, as a receiver. He's actively involved. I've talked to some folks before about him. He's there. He's locked in. He's got a script. He's paying attention. He's getting guys lined up. And so the more he stays active in that way, the better he's going to be when he can get fully activated. And, obviously, he's got to continue to maintain his strength, maintain his nutrition. There's all those things that you don't even think about, just kind of as an onlooker. You got to be able to maintain all those things. You got to maintain your academics. You cannot get complacent just because you're not putting the helmet on. You got to make sure you're staying engaged in everything. And the big ones are academics, nutrition, and then obviously in the strength room. So in strength and conditioning in the weight room. So those are the things that, as a player, he's got to make sure he's focused on, because he is locked into the details of what we're doing. He's just not actually doing them. But he's got to make sure he stays on top of his other stuff.